Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and happy new year. I am so excited for this video. I'm sorry, my cat is very high energy today and she's sleeping on my bed playing with hair ties, so you're just gonna have to ignore her. Anyways, today is going to be my project pan intro for 2021. So I didn't end up finishing my videos on my project pan from last year just because all of the products I either used up or I ended up decluttering, like my Kosas blush that just got too old. And I just wanted to start fresh with items that I was actually excited to use. And I'm doing things a little bit differently this year so I don't get burnt out of project panning. So I have my items that are in my long-term project pan that are things that I want to use up and get out of my collection so I can eventually replace it with new things. And then I have items that I am going to be rotating, and so for this month I will share 2 or 3 things that I'm putting in this category that I want to use either like 30 times, hit pan on, or just have a usage goal, and then I will rotate it for something else. And this will help keep my makeup fresh. It'll help make my project pan a little bit more seasonal, and so I'm not just using the same blush all year because I have a lot of blushes that I love equally and none of them I want out of my collection right this moment. So I'm really excited for this video and let's get into it. By the way, on my lips I'm wearing Charlotte Tilbury JK Magic, and on my eyes I'm wearing the Charlotte Tilbury Ice Mesmerize and Oyster Pearl. A lot of Charlotte Tilbury. Let me know if you like when I just tell you what's on my lips and eyes because I'm too lazy to write it in the description box. But anyways, the first thing that's on my project pan is my Bite Beauty pressed powder. This I got probably like 6 months ago. I don't know. I got it last summer and I've already hit good pan on it. I will take pictures of these so that way in the next update you can kind of see, but I'm not going to do that right now. So this is what it looks like. It is getting pretty shallow on the sides, but like you can kind of tell on the sides that it's getting a little bit more shallow, but there is still a decent amount of product left. This is just something that I want to use up just because it is something I use a lot, but I just want to put it in this project pan just so I can track my progress on it. And I do want to try out some other pressed powders. I want to try out the new Fenty powder foundation and the No. 7 powder, and I don't want to buy more powders until I get through the ones that I already own. So this is one that I figured I would throw in here. I don't think it'll be too hard for me to use. I think within the next couple months I think I can use this up. You do get a good amount of product in here. I've been using this almost every day for like 6 months. I use it on my face too to set all over my face, and it lasts me a good while. So this is worth the money. I'm just ready to try something new. I have the shade Light 1, by the way. And then I have another powder that I want to use up as well. This is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. This one is getting pretty old. It's at least like 2 years old, I want to say. I don't really know. I don't have much product left. I marked it here, but I don't know if you're going to be able to tell how much powder's in there. There is not much powder left, but it's still going to take me a decent bit just because I don't use a ton of this, and I have both of these powder in here at once. But I think I could finish this within the next couple of months. I want to try the Fenty loose powder, and also this one's just getting old and I need to use it up. So I'm excited to use this one up. Again, I only have this much left. Let me know if you guys know how to take out this part of the Hourglass powder because I don't really know, because I'm going to reach a point where it's going to be hard to dump stuff out. So let me know if you know how to do that. But those are the 2 powders. I know like I use either one or the other, but I still think this will be kind of easy for me to use both of these because I either rotate through them or I use one on my face and one on my under eyes. So I'm hoping to use these up by like the springtime, maybe early summer, just because I am excited to try some new things. I put 1 primer in here. Actually, I put 2 primers, but my full-size primer is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. I've mentioned this a few times that I have wanting to been using this up, so you can't really tell, but I marked how much left I have. That was not a good sentence, but I have about half left of this. I think I could use this up if I make sure I'm using this, just because a lot of the times I forget to use this. But I like this primer. It's not my favorite just because it's expensive, and again, it's not my favorite thing. It is nice and hydrating. It's not super dewy, but it adds a nice natural glow, especially without makeup. And I just find I like to use this under like my Rare Beauty foundation that I need a little bit more hydration with. So I like this, and it's not something I think I will repurchase, but I am excited to get my use out of it. I think I could also use this up within the next few months if I'm really focusing on using this. 2 little deluxe samples that I want to use up is actually another powder, which I know 3 powders is hard to work through, but I'm just going to try and use up all of these within like half of a year. I think this one can go pretty quickly. I just don't know if I want to focus on this first. This is the Cover FX translucent powder, and like this is a tiny powder. The only thing is I always reach for my bigger ones first, but I don't want to throw this out because it is product that is good and I can use, but I just don't want it in my collection because it's so tiny. So I think what I might do is focus on this for the month of January and hopefully get this out within like a month or two. There's only 1 gram of product in here. And then I also have the Hello Fab Pores Be Gone Matte Primer, which I had on my project pan last year. I just never used it. And it's not my favorite primer just because I don't need like a mattifying or like pore filling primer. My cat is whatever. But I think if I just focus on this, I can use it up. I think if I get like a more dewy foundation, this will be nice. But recently the only foundation that's been shade matching me is my Rare Beauty one. And this is too drying for me to use a matte primer, but I think I am going to pick up a lighter skin toned, more dewy foundation that this will pair nicely with. So I want this gone out of my collection just because it's so tiny. I just don't want like these little things in my collection that I don't really care about. Okay, and then into lip products, I have a lip pencil. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF. I've been using this more recently. I will like mark this on a piece of paper, but obviously this is the first month of it. I haven't used this a ton. I've sharpened it a few times. It looks kind of gross, so don't mind that. I have a decent amount of product left, and I think this will take me a while. And I either just want to use this until it dries out, or I just want to use it up. It is getting a little bit old, but I just want new lip liners, but I don't want to bring like a bunch in when I still have this. So I want to just get my use out of it, and then once either I feel like I got my money's worth, or it dries up, or I just end up using it all, then I will allow myself to buy a few more. But for now, I just want to get some use out of this. This won't be hard to use because I can just use it on an everyday basis, but it just isn't my favorite shade. It's not my favorite formula, so I just want to get it out of my collection. And then I have 2 lip products, which these are going to be hard because right now I have bad allergies and I can't wear scented lip products. I am going back to the doctor to see if I can get some medication to fix that, so I'm not going to be using these right now, but if I can get that problem solved, I will focus on these. The first one is the Fenty Sheer Shiny Lipstick in the shade Glazed. The only reason I want this out of my collection is because I have things like the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick that are a similar shade, and this one is nice and hydrating, but it's not my favorite formula ever. I have a decent bit left, but I don't think this will be super hard to use up. There's not a whole lot of product in here anyways, and I've used it a decent bit. I have the shade Tang Thing, which I haven't used much, so I can maybe show you how much product I've used up. So I don't know if you can tell, I've used up like a little bit of product. I don't think this will be too bad, that if I can fix my allergies, I can use this up. Otherwise, I'm going to just keep it in my collection and hope for the day when I can use it or declutter it. But it does have a pretty strong scent, like all Fenty lip products, but this one is very like perfumey, like rosy. Like I don't like the scent on this, but I would like to use this up just because I have other things like it. And then I also put in the Kosas Wet Lip Oil in the shade Dip. I don't know if you can see, can you put like things in hot water to get them to settle? But you can kind of see through the packaging on this side. I got this in March of 2020 and I haven't used it a ton. There just isn't a ton of product in here. It's not my favorite formula because it's not the most hydrating ever, and I have shades similar to it in my collection. I do think this is pretty, but again, I just want to get working through some of my lip products, and this is the one that would be the first to go. So this smells like vanilla creamsicle, and I don't mind the scent, but again, I need to fix my allergies first. So these things you probably won't see much progress on in January, but I'm hoping throughout the year I will get to use these. Okay, so those were all the products in my long-term project pan. There isn't a ton, and I could have forced myself to put some more things in, but honestly, a lot of my collection, I'm very content with everything I have, and there's nothing I want to focus on. So like foundations, there are some things that I might eventually add in, but honestly, I'm fine. I have 4 foundations and I'm fine rotating those through. So I might add some things as the year goes on, maybe as I get more products or just things change. But for now, this is what's in my project pan. I have 8 things in my long-term project pan, and then I'm adding 3 things into my rotation. By the way, I'm also doing pan those eyeshadows, so that's why there's no eyeshadow in this video. I'm not sure when that is going up. I might do that like the 2nd week of the month, just so you're not bombarded with project pan stuff. But anyways, so I'm going to be doing usage goals for my cheek products just because there isn't anything I want out right now, and it's also unrealistic for me to use up an entire one of these because a lot of my products in my collection are very new, because before 2020 I didn't really buy makeup for like 2 years or something, so a lot of this is brand new and I don't think I can use it up or really want to. So for cheek products, I want to get 30 uses out of each of these and then go from there. If it's too short, I can make it longer, but overall I just want to rotate through everything. So the first thing is a cream bronzer, and I decided to add the Fenty cream bronzer in Butter Biscuit. I love this bronzer and I don't want it out of my collection or anything like that. I just want to get more use out of it, and I feel like this shade is a great one to use while I'm a little bit more fair. I can't speak. It's a great fair bronzer for me, so I think it'll be good for the winter time. It's a little bit more neutral and I really enjoy it, and I hope to hit pan on it. I want to try the shade Macchiato maybe eventually, but I don't need it right now. So this is one I definitely don't want out of my collection. I just want to see more use on it because I think it'd be cool to hit pan on this, and I could easily use this every day. I am wearing it today. I'm not wearing any powder bronzer on top, and this is just a product that is really easy for me to wear every day. I might still put in another cream bronzer in my rotation, like my Shop My Stash videos, but if I'm only using this 30 times, I think like I can use this for a whole month or like a month and a half and be good. So that's the first thing. So I also picked a powder bronzer, and honestly, I'll let you know in the update, but I might end up only keeping a cream in or only keeping a powder, so that way I can have some options with layering and not be stuck with the same things. But again, this will only be like a month and a half rotation, so I decided to pick the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer, but just because I feel like this is a good shade for this time of year. It's pretty neutral, it's not too warm, but it's not too light. Honestly, this was hard because I have two that are on the lighter side, but I don't really know if those are the two that I want to pick right now, and I just want to get some more thoughts on this bronzer. I have it and I've used it a decent amount, but I just haven't used it enough for my liking, so I just want to get some use out of this. I don't think I'll hit pan on it or anything, but it's just a bronzer that I want to show some more love. So those are the two bronzers that I'm going to be focusing on for probably the next 2 months or so. I will put these in my Shop My Stash, and I might not put anything else. I might, you'll just have to watch that, but I'm excited to see if I can make any progress on these and also just get some more love out of my products. And then blush is something that I only picked one of just because I love blush so much. I think if I picked a powder and a cream, I would really hate myself because it's just something I like to switch up, versus bronzer I don't mind using the same thing. So I chose a cream blush and I picked the Nude Sticks Nudies Matte in the shade Bareback. I think this is a really great shade, especially now that I'm fair. Well, I've always been fair, but just for like the winter time, it's not too blushy, but it adds enough color and is a pretty light shade. I'm wearing it today. It actually doesn't look as pale and cool toned on the face as it does in the tube. I will mark my progress on this. I don't think I'm going to use this up, but I just want to get more use out of this blush and honestly see usage on it. I want the amount in here to go down. So again, I just want to use this 30 times, and I will rotate my blushes based on like the season, I think. And I think this is just a good wintertime blush, especially because it's not going to be too blushy like a summertime blush, but it's not going to be too intense for my really fair skin. So I really like this blush, and I feel like I've been neglecting it, especially because I'm not a fan of nude sticks, so I'm just excited to see some use on it. So that is everything in my project pan. I know it's not the biggest project pan, and I might add in some body products as I get back to college and I get back to my full skincare and like perfume collection, but realistically, I don't want to force myself to put things in my project pan for no reason, and these are the things that I actually can see myself using every day without getting bored of, and also things that I either want out of my collection or I want to get some more love out of. So this will obviously change every month. I will be rotating things, I will be using things up, and I'm really excited for this project pan because this is not as overwhelming as my project pan last year, where I feel like I was just being too ambitious with what I was doing. I think usage goals are really great for me for products that I get bored of easily. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any tips for me or if you are participating in a project pan. Be sure to look out for my Pan Those eyeshadows. I am so excited for that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I will see you in my next video.